Because average person is pretty ignorant. And if you allowed average person to do whatever they want without hurting themselves or others, you know what they would be doing, Grave? They would be smoking weed, watching Netflix, and jerking off.
Yeah,
Now,
let them
I don't
do
know
that.
about you. Yeah, but I don't know about you, but I think that our existence should be more than smoking weed, jerking off, and watching
Yeah,
Netflix.
but that's not for you to decide. That's for
Well,
them
for
to
who?
decide for themselves.
Now, we should believe in a will. The one who has more will should naturally use that to rule over those with weaker will. Because you say, oh, well, it's not up to me to decide. But it is. Because if I have the will to, take this degenerate who is watching Netflix, smoking weed, and drinking off, and if I can put him to actually something productive, something virtuous, then by all means I have the right to do so. Because if I have to enslave 5 million weed smokers to get the cultural level of ancient Rome, then I say it's worth the price. Because if we don't do that, we won't have colosseums, we won't have the technology you speak of, we won't have anything because these people don't produce. These are unproductive members of society. And I think that this idea that everyone has the right to choose their destiny is just not based on anything. Like you say, they have the right. Well, who gives them the right?
To be honest, I don't really care.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Indifference. That's what's going to doom our civilization. Like, don't you feel anything particular when you see these great monuments to art and culture? When you stand in front of Colosseum or within the ruins of ancient Greece, you don't feel anything.
No, not really. I just feel that like art and culture isn't always that important. I don't know if you've seen the type of bullshit that your own governments will spend on art and
Great.
culture. Like here in Norway, there's this artist that he paints with his asshole. He squirts paint
Great.
up his asshole and squirts it
I
onto a canvas, and
Great.
he's gotten like $1.2 million in state funding,
Grave.
and he
I
does
completely understand.
things like that.
But there is a problem here, Grave, because existence of such people is not on me. It's actually up to people like you. Because when people are indifferent and people don't care, that's why you're gonna have these
That I
degenerates
care
and free.
about because it actually comes out of my pocket every year.
You don't care about that person because of what he does. You only care because it costs you. See, I'm
Yeah,
against that person regardless. I see that person couldn't get if that person didn't get a single cent, I would still be against him because I don't care about the money. I care about the virtue of what he is doing. I care about the morality of it. And you say, well, this person gets funding, that's why it's bad. Well, because the funding going to them is because people like you, apathy, people who don't care to enforce their will upon the world. And if you don't want to enforce your will upon the world and others, well, you might as well be dead. There is no worth to you intrinsically.
you maybe, but yeah, that's good for you that you
Now,
have some passion. You're burning like for life, but I don't yeah I don't really care, to be honest.
you don't have.
I have my passions. I don't care to discuss them with you, honestly. But I have my own reasons to live, and many
You
other
are.
people have their own reasons to live, and
That's not life.
that's their right as human beings
Who gives them that
to
right? Who gives them that right?
humanity as a whole. Like we
Okay.
have human
Wait.
rights that are
Who gives us those
intrinsic.
rights? How are they intrinsic? Does God give them to us?
No, I would
Then who
say
gives them?
that that there is a unanimous agreement between all the nations or most of the nations in the world on the human rights. That's why they're called human rights.
So you're saying that these human rights come from the ability of United Nations to enforce itself.
Now, from all the nations or most of the nations in the world, or
All right.
the
Let me ask you this.
majority of humanity believes in these basic human rights.
Hypothetically, convince majority of people that actually pedophilia isn't so bad. We could convince them of that. Would that make pedophilia right?
No, that's some
But what if
you're not
majority
twisting
of
words
nations
here.
agree to that? What
Man,
if majority of nations do?
I would actually love to see you being dropped into an apocalypse, because that sounds like it will be the perfect place for you to live.
The point, Grave, stands that if you cannot make moral choices or moral claims like human rights based on consensus. Because, like, again, we can fabricate the consensus to whatever we want. Like, again, if you spend trillions of dollars, a gazillion of dollars to propaganda, you can convince, hypothetically, a majority of nations that pedophilia is all right. And if they all agree, would that make it a right, morally right thing to do?
No, it would
Just
not
because
make it morally right, but it is not like that's like it's things like that won't like persist, because most like the consensus isn't like the consensus is going to, yeah, I don't know, I'm not a debater, but it's, yeah, I lost my train of thought there, but I was going to say something and I just lost it, and like I
no,
said, I don't give a fuck, so.
well, I guess that's a winning strategy for you. You wouldn't have human rights without the state.
Yes, you would.
Well,
it's
I just
it's
clarified it.
it's
I already told you it's
it's
a legal category. How can you have legal categories without a state?
like it's like saying, like you're talking about morality here. Like what about killing someone? Is that's like you have a right not to be killed. That's
That's
like
again
you're
a legal thing. You can't equate
like
legal things and moral
you're
things.
trying to be some kind of moral arbiter, but then you
I'm not
don't
moral
like.
arbiter. I didn't even begin to justify my moral compass. I was only questioning yours. You claim to be libertarian, yet your appeal to
I
state
never
authority.
say. I said I would, if I would have to categorize it, I'm leaning more towards libertarianism.
Okay, sure, whatever. Well, for someone who leans libertarian, all of your arguments so far have been appealed to the state because it's the state that gives us human rights. Because some states agreed that human rights are a good thing, but the state itself is not a product of some moral.
Didn't I
Uh,
just say that I thought I thought I made it clear. I believe people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want as long as they're not hurting themselves or others. I was very clear on that point.
you did, and I ask you why.
That has
It's because
nothing
we
to do
have.
with the state.
When I ask you why people have the right to do whatever they want, so long they're not hurting themselves or others, you are saying because it's a human right. Yes, I already proved to you that human rights exist only as a product of the state.
Okay, it's let's just not call it human rights then. Let's just call it. I don't know. People should not hurt others or themselves. That's all I meant. Like anything other
Okay.
than that, I don't fucking care.
Okay. Okay.
And
Why shouldn't we hurt others or ourselves?
because that is not. It's an immoral thing to hurt
Why?
others and to hurt
Why is it
yourselves,
immoral?
because it is bad.
Why is it bad?
Jesus Christ. Like, can ask yourself, why is it bad to hurt
I know
someone?
why it's bad. Listen, I have my justification why it's not a good thing to do, but I'm asking for yours. Saying we shouldn't kill other people, while it seems basic, it's actually a quite loaded moral category. So yeah,
Okay,
great.
well,
Why shouldn't we kill other people? Well, actually, no. You said it's bad, and I asked you why it's bad, and you didn't answer that one. So why is it bad to kill other people?
it is bad to kill other people because you take their life away.
Okay, why is taking other
You
people's lives away bad?
Because you deny their existence. Like you
Why is
just you
denying
and
existence of others bad thing?
I don't know how to answer that question, because killing someone else is immoral.
Why is it immoral? We're kind of running in circles now. Why is it
Because
immoral?
like immorality can't always be explained. It's baked into your moral compass. Like I
Okay,
like
but you're making, wait, you are one making objective moral claims. You are saying that killing someone is objectively morally bad. So I'm just saying, why is that? I'm not saying if it's your preference or not. I'm saying, like, why is objectively killing someone bad? thing. Why is it immoral?
I
Oh, you can't explain
literally
it? Why
told
do you
you.
believe?
Yeah,
Why do you believe in things that you cannot explain?
because sometimes you just know. Not in the server to debate. I've said that multiple times.
It's not about debating. It's about the fact you have beliefs that you cannot justify.
Yeah, and I don't care. I have my
If you are
beliefs. You have
if you are
yours.
well, you don't have beliefs. Otherwise, you could justify them, but you don't have beliefs. What you do have is something we call social indoctrination. Different ways of society through school, high school, university, then through your job, etc. And through these positions, there are particular social values and norms that are inflicted upon you because that's how society maintains itself by reproducing its values on its new members. Society in Norway told you don't kill, and you accepted that, but you never questioned the reason why. So they are not your beliefs. They are the beliefs society you live in. They just get integrated into system. They don't question it for a second, yet they claim to be free
Okay.
individuals. I actually don't really like the state, so I don't really care what the
I don't
state
like the
proposes.
state either.
Yes, you did nothing but parade the values that were inflicted by the state on you. So much for a free individual.
What the fuck are
No,
you talking about?
all your values are just given to you by the state through education system.
That's literally how 90% of human beings have been
Yeah, and
educated.
that's why 90% of human beings are cattle, because there is no real you. There is only a social projection. Because what you are, Grave, is just a culmination of genetic and social DNA, which was inflicted upon you. There is no unique self to you. There is no unique will. You're just a empty husk, a projection. There is no unique self
And
to you.
what are you then? What are you then?
Me? Well, I'm a copy too, but I'm a bad copy. Yeah, the printer broke when it was making me. In the sense that I gained enough self-awareness about my condition, but I lack the will to really break through it. So I can only make observations. I don't really have the ability to act upon these observations, which kind of puts me above you, but doesn't really put me that much above you.
Well, too bad for you. I am self-aware.
No, like we concluded, there is no self in you to be aware of anything, because, like I said, you're
Yeah.
just a product of genetic and social DNA. Again, a copy. But see, unlike you, unlike me, you're a good copy. You're a perfect copy of what was intended to be copied.
Well, I'm definitely not a perfect copy. I can tell you that.
Oh, really? You're much of a bad boy, are you? You're a bit
No,
of
I'm
a
not.
rebel.
Not saying that.
You're a badass over here, guys. Watch out.
Man, you're so fucking condescending. It's actually nauseating.